Hey everybody, how's it going? So, I have kind of a rambling review for you about Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories today. I'm going to be catching up to everything else that I've played in the past probably like 2 months, ever since I posted really my Dream Drop Distance video. Because I've been playing quite a lot. I've just been really getting into 1.5, 2.5 on PS4. And yeah, I'm just going to be recording a lot about it, so stay tuned. I'll post it and let you guys know as soon as it's up. But we're starting today with Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, specifically the Chain of Memories version that's on the HD 1.5, 2.5 PS4 collection. So, for those of you who have never kind of played it before, it is a card-based battling game. Cards basically have a number from 0 to 9. Normally, the higher the number, the stronger the card, except for 0, which can override any card, but also be overwritten by any card. So it kind of works out if you're really good at it. Basically, you can either use cards individually, or you can chain them together to create certain types of attacks. And there's everything from normal Keyblade strikes to magic, even summons, and then there are other like enemy types of cards that give you a specific like stat or buff for a certain amount of time depending on the card. The system is kind of a pain in the ass to get used to if you've never played anything like it. The minigame in Dream Drop Distance, the monster fighting one, is very similar to that. But other than that, I'm trying to think of like another game that has a system kind of like it, and there's really nothing like it out there if you've never played it before. It's notoriously like annoying to get used to at first, but once you sink a couple hours into it, it gets pretty easy to manipulate. Especially when it comes to being able to just get a bunch of 9 cards and chain them together and basically make yourself unbeatable, or using a bunch of 0 cards so that when the opponent uses a really strong combo, you can immediately negate it and basically just wail on them. It's one of those where it doesn't really... Basically, the further you get into the game, the more cards you get, by far the easier it gets. You get the ability to basically increase the amount of cards that you can use throughout the game by leveling up. You pick between health, CP, which are your card points, and then like learning what's called a sleight. And a sleight is like a combo move. You use 3 specific cards, and depending on the types of cards and the value of the cards, it can give you different combo moves, essentially. Overall, it's a pretty good system, again, once you get the hang of it, but it definitely makes the title super annoying to get into at first. Overall, the game itself is not super difficult, because I think the actual card system is the main component of difficulty to the game. Really, the boss fights are not that bad, and the difficulties are very close. There's not a whole lot of difference between the beginner difficulty, the normal difficulty, and proud mode. There is one boss that's always super annoying to me. It's Vexen, one of the members of Organization 13. He basically uses a shield, and so a lot of the time your attacks do nothing against him unless you're standing in the right place, or if you counter his attacks, you get a chance to do something. He's just super annoying. He uses a lot of stupid moves, but he also has a lot of those 0 cards. So a lot of the time, if you're trying to, let's say, chain together 3 cure spells to make Curaga, if you're really low on health, he can immediately pop a 0 card and just screw you over instantly. And it's really frustrating. Other than that, I mean, there are a couple annoying fights, but the final boss, especially on the Sora side of the story, is a total joke. Marluxia, just not even difficult. Like, I think he uses like one potential 27 move, which is when you chain 3 9s together, and the only thing that can beat that is a 0. But again, as long as you go into the fight with like 2, maybe 3 0 cards, you're totally fine. You can block whatever he's trying to do, and then just wail on him with 9 Keyblade cards. The Sora side of the story is kind of long, kind of tiring, but there's basically what you find out is once you beat the game as Sora, you actually play through the entire thing as Riku from the like lower levels of the castle that you're in, and it kind of gives you like another side to what's happening. Um, Even then, like I guess it's a little annoying because on the Sora side, where you can customize all of your cards and do whatever you'd like with it, on the Riku side, they just give you a set in every world. It is set for you, and you just have what you have. That can make things kind of frustrating, but towards the end, again, if you're just any at all familiar with the card system, it's very easy to still just absolutely wail on enemies. The length of the game is really not that bad. I think Sora's side to beat took maybe like 15 hours, even on Proud mode, and then Riku's was probably closer to like 10. Now, my save file for Sora ended up being about 35 hours, just because for one of the trophies, you have to collect what are called enemy cards, where when you beat an enemy, you have a chance to get a card of that enemy that, again, has a certain stat or buff that I kind of went into earlier. But in order to get a card from an enemy, they have to be the last one that you kill in a fight. And there's a very small chance that when you kill each one, it will drop that type of card. There are certain ways that you can increase that by basically making it certain types of rooms where more Heartless spawn or there are stronger Heartless, things like that. And that's basically what you have to do, and then just get into a frick ton of battles just over and over and over and over again. But it also helps because one of the other trophies, you have to be max level. That was probably the second most annoying trophy, just getting all the cards for Sora. Definitely, though, the most annoying trophy, not because it's hard, but just because it was just mindless, absolutely mindless for hours, was getting Riku to level 99. Sora, towards the end of the game, gets a couple slights that are incredibly broken. They can kill almost every enemy instantly, so it is dramatically faster to level up using Sora. But with Riku, he has to fight in so much longer than Sora does in order to get that far. His slights are nowhere near as powerful. So it was basically a couple nights of me just pulling up random movies on Netflix, or watching something on Crunchyroll or YouTube or wherever else, and just mindlessly kind of barely paying attention to what I was doing attack-wise. There are still a couple of cards with Riku that make it easier. One in particular gives you the ability to have a chance to instantly kill enemies when you finish a combo, but again, it's random, so it happens a lot, but not every time, so it can still be kind of annoying, especially when you fight certain types of enemies. Overall, I feel like the game is definitely way more fun than I remember it being. I played the original Game Boy Advance version, and I got all the way to the final boss of the Riku side, but I could never beat him. So this was like the first time that I actually beat both Sora and Riku's story in the same, like, game. I did play a little bit when it came out on PS2 originally, but very, very little. I think I got just a few worlds in and then I stopped. I was in college at the time and I was playing other stuff. It's definitely one that I would recommend to people still. It is a good Kingdom Hearts game. It's definitely necessary if you want to understand what's going on story-wise. It's one of those of I cannot believe like how bad it would have been if someone would go straight from Kingdom Hearts 1 to Kingdom Hearts 2 without having played Chain of Memories. You would be totally lost. You wouldn't understand, like, who's Naminé? Who are these guys in the black cloaks? Why was Sora in this weird-ass pod? Who is this other kid? I mean, granted, you don't know that one from Chain of Memories, but it's much easier to figure it out. It's just crazy how much, like, important detail is in this. Again, I've said this on I believe I said this on my Dream Drop Distance video. Pretty much every game in the franchise is important. You could argue a little bit Coded is definitely not as important, but now it's a movie, so just sit down and watch the movie for like, I think it's like 2 hours maybe. It's really not that bad. But each of the other games definitely has a lot of important material that you should be checking out and that you should kind of have an understanding of, at least even if it's only a little bit, or I mean, I guess if you need to glance over a wiki or something like that to become familiar with it, but now that all of these games are available on PS4, there's really not an excuse. It's the best console. It has so many good games, and these are two of its best games, although obviously I'm a fanboy, so what do I know? But, anywho, overall, it is still a worthy experience. I actually don't have this plat on PS3, so kind of when I'm not streaming, I have been playing it every now and again, although I'm still just on the Sora side, and I still have a long ways to go on the PS3 version. But you know what? I'll get there, and it'll happen eventually. But as of right now, I'm actively playing through Kingdom Hearts 2, both on critical whenever I stream, and then doing some beginner just off stream just to kind of blow through stuff. I still don't know if I'm going to do all of my farming on critical or beginner. That's kind of why I have both files going. But I'll figure it out once I beat it on critical and see kind of how I feel about things. But yeah, soon to be coming after this, I'll make a video about the original Kingdom Hearts. And then sometime I do want to play through 0.2 and then give my thoughts on that because I never did a video for it. But other than that, I'll just be streaming. I'm definitely trying to stream like at least 3 or 4 nights a week, if not more than that. Please feel free to come check me out. It's twitch.tv/Blakers37. You can just come and watch me die a whole bunch on critical. It's pretty fantastic. I even have a video of Zaldin just absolutely destroying me that you should check out. I'll put a link to it like in the description below. But if there's anything else that you want to see from me, feel free to let me know. I'll be happy to ramble on more about these games. I definitely want to do something about just my favorite moments in the series as a whole, that I'm going to start kind of working on notes for and kind of getting my thoughts together about that. But that's pretty much going to do it for this video. So let me know how you like it. Feel free to leave comments below. Even if you don't like something, please. Like, obviously, I just want to get better. That's part of the reason I'm doing this. It gets me in front of a camera, gets me used to talking to it without anyone else here. And that way I can kind of, improve things and work on myself. So I very much appreciate you watching the video. Like I said, come check me out when I stream. I would very much appreciate it. I love chatting with people in the stream. I definitely want to make that a thing, and it will just lead to more content on here. So have a great night, and I'll see you later.